Welcome Aman and Rajat, another two students working in meaty roles, choosing a very different paths for themselves. And we have Aman. Aman is working in deals in PWC, which is basically a core M&A profile. And we have Rajat, who is again working in the profile that every chartered accountant dreams to get into. Most chartered accountant these days dreams to get into, which is management consulting. Rajat is working with EY Parthenon. So welcome guys. Thank you for your time. Firstly, Aman and Rajat, both of you, very similar batches. I think one, Aman, you are from May 19, what I remember.
Yeah, right.
So May 19, November 19, almost similar vintage. Rajat was not even a part of my regular batch. He came to me for a separate session on BCG, preparation for BCG. But उसके बाद जो दोस्ती बनी ना, मतलब लगा ही नहीं कि किसी स्टूडेंट को पढ़ा रहे हैं, ऐसा लग रहा है कि किसी कलीग के साथ काम कर रहे हैं. तो अमन के साथ भी, अमन भी बैच में थे और इनका तो बैच भी बड़ा धुरंधर बैच था, वो वाला May 19 मॉर्निंग 8:30 वाला 8 o'clock वाला बैच. सारी खतरनाक लोग थे. और इनके बैच से भी एक स्टूडेंट आया अहमदाबाद में है, अनिरुद्ध गुप्ता. तो वो भी आया अहमदाबाद में. तो उनको भी किसी दिन बुलाएंगे, उनसे भी बात करेंगे. बाकी आज तो अमन है. अमन बहुत ही बढ़िया रोल में है. तो अमन, आप थोड़ा ब्रीफ बताओ, कहाँ से, मतलब जैसे जयपुर से आर्टिकल था आपका, बट थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ कि कहाँ से स्टार्ट किया आपने और इसमें कैसे पहुंच गए यार. सेम फॉर रजत. अमन फर्स्ट एंड देन रजत.
Hi everyone. So let me start from scratch. I'm basically belong from Sujangarh, which is a small town near Salasar. I done my schooling from there. I done my CPT from Sikar, which is nearby my hometown. Then I moved to Jaipur for my internship. I done my 3-year internship from Kalani and Company Jaipur. I qualified in May 2019. Post that, from campus, I joined the DLF, one of the largest real estate company. I spent there around 2 years in DLF Gurgaon. Post that, I moved to the deals, PWC Deal Advisory, basically in the real estate sector. So this is the overall my profile from where this is the overall journey, how I started and where as of now. Basically, as of now, I'm looking into the PWC deals, core real estate sector. So basically, we are looking into the real estate deals, we have whatever which are happening in India, Indian practice, whenever one company is going to acquire another company, and basically it is in the real estate. Real estate is not only the real estate building or infra that we can see. In the today's era, it includes warehouse, logistic, data center, and everything, all these things also. So basically, this is my core profile. Yes.
Okay, Rajat, please go ahead.
Hi everyone. First of all, congratulations to become chartered accountant. Thank you, sir, for giving this opportunity. You are very kind. So thank you so much for your kind words. So I am also come from a very small town. So I am Nagar, that is situated in Bharatpur district. I done my school everything from Bharatpur. Then I moved to Jaipur for my CA. I done my articles with a Bafna and Associate Jaipur. Post CA, I joined Hindustan Unilever Limited. It's not an on-campus job. I got this job from the cold calling from LinkedIn. Then from the HUL itself, then I moved to Deloitte from on my relationship, because when you work on the industry, you come to know that many consultants, whether it's any big four or MBBs, everyone is working with the industry. So if you have a good relationship with your consultant, then you have a chance to move consultant or vice versa as well. So from HUL itself, I moved to the Deloitte, and then again, I cold calling, I reach out to people on LinkedIn, I reach out to people through the recruitment agency, and then I moved to EY Parthenon and Management Consulting. So in EY Parthenon, I am the part of, when I say the management consulting, we are done 3-4 types of the projects. First project might be related to its strategy project. Second is post-merger integration. Third is carve out. Fourth is value creation, IPO readiness, etc., etc. So this is, everyone wants to do the management consulting or strategy consulting, but all this seems to be a lucrative. But you need to figure out what you want to do. The role of CFO is also a good option in the industry. The other side, the consulting also seems to be lucrative. So everything is depending on you. But rather than I will talk on many things, we will appreciate if you have any question. We are more than answer to your queries. But do not feel any hesitates, because we are all from the same background. Might be some of you are belonging from our same me and Aman as a small town. Might be you are from Jaipur, might be Delhi, Mumbai, etc., etc. So the background, everything doesn't matter. Once you become a chartered accountant, everyone will seems to be a equal opportunity. Everyone have a same platform. The only things make you a different, how you are making yourself different from other people. examples. The differential should be come from your skills. The differential should come from your experience. The differential should come what you are different bringing onto the table. For an example, if you want to go through the management consulting, then you do not need to read about the what is the Ind AS, what is the accounting extender, what is the auditing extender. Then you need to think differently. Then you need to work on your case study. Then your answer should be a structure. When I say the answer should be structure, for an example, someone asks you what is the method of travel to travel in Jaipur. You need to structure the answer. What is the mode of air? What is the mode of train? What is the mode of public transport? Then you need to segregate each and every line item. So anywhere wherever you want to make a career, firstly you need to figure out for what role what is required. You can't directly say I want to become a CFO, but if you want to become a CFO, firstly you need to prepare yourself. Wherever you want to go, you should be demonstrate yourself that you are ready for that role. You need to be considered as that you are already working on that role. For a management consulting, as such, say that the PowerPoint presentation is an important piece, because you have a very you need to understand in the consulting you have to work with the both of the people who are running the show. When I say the running the show, it's a CEO, CFO, CEO, CTO, etc., as well as the ground people of the company. Why it's required? Because as a consultant you are not expert on everything. Firstly you need to understand the things from the ground people who are actually working on the company, and on the basis of your experience, your industry benchmarking, you need to give your responses to the management. Now management do not have 2 hours and you can't say any bullshit, hey, we have prepared this thing, that thing. Here your storytelling play an important role, because the steering committee always want what they need to do. So everything should be cluster clear. When we say that your PowerPoint skill is good, it doesn't mean कि आपने bots बना दिया, alignment ठीक है, color coding ठीक है कि नहीं. It's not making any sense. What actually mean is your presentation should be a neat and clear. It's a storytelling PPT, right? It's not something first page you are talking about X, Y, and the next page you are talking about A and B. It should be the scenario that first slide is A, then the second slide will be B. It should all be linked to one to another page, and it should be a speaking slide. When I say the speaking slide, if I present something in front of you, you are able, once you read it in the 2 minutes, you are able to touch every point, right? So your slides, your everything should be a speaking slide. So whenever we are saying that you should improve your PowerPoint presentation, first thing you need to understand, do not think कि आपको alignment करना आता है, आपको coding करना आता है, आपको color आना है. That's the story. Answer is no. Major thing that the playing in PowerPoint is the storytelling. Because once you move to the MBBs, you will found that there is a design team who will make the presentation. Right. So somehow when
Yes.
you reach more leadership team, whether you move to the senior manager or director, you do not need to make any presentation as well, right? The major role you play the storytelling. I see in a call in the one graph we discuss for 1 hour. Right. So if you do not have in-depth knowledge what you are showing onto the graph, then it's not making any sense. So whatever you want to present, you should be have depth knowledge. Why I am giving you this example? Because what we see in the people or people like me and other, we just try to make a resume copy paste. कि वी विल आस्क द पवन सर कि सर 5 CV भेज दीजिए, उनमें से 2 लाइन अच्छी लगी, मैंने कॉपी पेस्ट कर लिया. Now somehow it's sometimes it's work, sometimes it's not work. It's all depend on to the interview. If interview goes into the in-depth, you will be crashed. Why you want to play with your career, right? You have worked 3 years in the RTLship, then you should know what you have done. Then the your role should be you should take a paper, you should take a pen, written down what all the things you have done into the 3 years. Then you need to make a structure, and then you can ask someone to review your CV rather than asking someone कि आप मुझे CV भेजो मैं copy paste करूंगा. Then you will find 100% difficulty to get the job, because every company getting a 50 CV or 100 CV, right? And if they found the same line that you are using, they also know that तुमने copy paste किया है. So it's always be better to write your own experiences your CV. That's only make you a differentiated. For an example, if Aman and my CV is same, then company will think कि इन्होंने एक ही जगह से किया है, and Pawan sir's CV is different. So definitely Pawan sir's CV will be considered first, because it's showing something different that is not coming into the other candidate.
Right, right.
So
Okay,
now
I'm coming to you,
over to
Rajat.
you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So going back to Aman, sir, Aman, अभी तो बहुत सारी यार ड्यू डिलिजेंस के अंदर वैकेंसी दिखने लग गई हैं. इफ यू रिमेंबर जब हम पढ़ते थे तब ड्यू डिलिजेंस में कुछ नहीं आता था, हमें पता भी नहीं था कि ड्यू डिलिजेंस नाम की प्रोफाइल भी है. मतलब इट वाज नॉट वेरी ओपन, बट इफ यू चेक आउट नाउ, ड्यू डिलिजेंस ही ड्यू डिलिजेंस है, जीटीवी हायर कर रहा है, एवरीवन इज हायरिंग ड्यू डिलिजेंस. सो व्हाट डू यू एग्जैक्टली डू इन ड्यू डिलिजेंस? होता क्या है ड्यू डिलिजेंस और रोल क्या होता है, और व्हाट शुड आई स्टडी अगर मेरे को इसमें करियर बनाना हो? तो मेरे को अपने सीवी में से या अभी एज अ फ्रेशर मुझे किन चीजों पे फोकस करना चाहिए?
So let me firstly briefly explain you what is the exact profile. So let me take an example. For example, Zomato decided to acquire the Blinkit. ठीक है, तो अभी Blinkit को खुद को सेल करना है. So now there are 4 or 5 stages. We can't, a single person cannot be fit into the each and every line, each and every vertical. Let's take an example. There are 5 vertical. First step one is the investment banking. When the Blinkit has decided to sell itself, it will appoint an investment banker who will help them for the readiness of the selling purpose, and who will help them to identify the buyer. This is the role of investment banking. ठीक है. Now moving to the second step. Once they have decided, ठीक है, for example, Blinkit decided to sell themselves to the Zomato. Now the due diligence come into the picture. Every investor who want to invest into the company, they want to know what is the basically the financial structure of the company. कि उसके अंदर कंपनी के अंदर जो CEO CFO जो कुछ बोल रहे हैं वो सब कुछ है या नहीं है. So due diligence basically deep down into the financial fact. Whatever they are arguing, for example, they are saying we are earning this amount of money, we are earning this amount of value from per order, we are this amount of this salary. Everything is the examine in the due diligence purpose. This is the second leg. In the third leg, there is might be the delivering deal value. Or say, for example, integration of the deals. For example, Zomato has acquired the Blinkit. Might be it happen कि the way in which the Zomato is thinking yes energy होगा वो नहीं हो रहा है. So for example, in that case, they will appoint the DDV team, delivering deal value team. So this is the third step. Or there in this step, there can be the post integration team also. Might be there are some integration which is required in the merging of the account. As of now, there are two separate software. One example, Zomato is using SAP, and Blinkit is using some another software. So the integration team will help to the align the both the companies into the same page. And fourth, we already discussed DDV, which help into the identify the synergy, the main agenda for which they are looking into the merger is happening or not. And the five is the strategy, and five is the separate thing where you can call the management consulting also, where they identify some new areas, or the, for example, if they are going into the laws, they will appoint the MCs to know whether how can we go into the profitability. So these are the basically 5 or 6 steps which we can see into the entire deal stage. So now if I go into the deep dive into the due diligence, so basically, for example, एक कंपनी ने क्या होता है फाइनेंशियल अपना दे दिया लास्ट 3 ईयर का 4 ईयर का. दीज आर द फाइनेंशियल नंबर विच आर द कोर इंडेस. अपने इंडेस में कोई एसेट दिखा दी, फॉर एग्जांपल इंडेस 116 के अकॉर्डिंग अपन ने कोई एसेट क्रिएट कर दी, बट द इन्वेस्टर विल नॉट वांट टू पे द वैल्यू फॉर मनी ना, बिकॉज दिस इज द इंडेस एसेट ओनली, एंड द इन्वेस्टर डोंट हैव द deep knowledge for this. So basically, in the due diligence, the financial due diligence team will deep dive into the each and every data, even part of the income statement, even part of the balance sheet, each and every asset, each and every what are the kind of remuneration the KMP has been doing, what are the actual position of the asset, whether any debt, for example, let's take an example, company is not paying to the creditor timely. As an industry norms, the creditor should be paid within 3 months. So now the company तो उसको क्या बोलेगी, creditor में दिखा रहा है उसको working capital का ही part बन रहा है, but even if they are not paying to the 3 months, this is not the creditor. Now this is a debt. So basically, they are they are understated the debt position. So in the due diligence team, they will come into the role and they will find all these things. For example, boss, this is not your debt, this is not your creditor, this is your debt. You are over understating your working capital, understating your let's say debt position. So basically, these kind of analysis do the FDD team. And for example, there is one of revenue, one kind of revenue which entity is claiming. But if the FDD came come and do no, this is only one time revenue, this is a special revenue, this is not the normalized revenue, then we can remove the effect of all these things. So in these things, we generally do 3 kind of analysis. One is the quality of earning, like whatever number you are reporting in your income statement, or whatever numbers you are reporting in your information memorandum pitch, whether this is true or not. If not, then what should be the true picture? The second picture come into the what is your real working capital. For example, I just gave an example of the creditor. So we just do normalization of all these things. The third picture, we show what is the actual position of debt. So what are the reported debt? For example, in India, we do straight line of the borrowing also. So basically, these are not the true picture of debt. So if the company has decided to square off the, for example, if any incoming investor come on and he decided to square off the HDFC loan, so they have to pay some prepayment penalty. They have to pay some other charges also. So we basically give them insight. कि boss, अगर आप आ जाओगे as an investor, if you put your money, then you have to square off this one and you have to pay this additional amount, which is not reported. So basically, we give these kind of insights. We do each and every kind of analysis. So let's take an example of the Big Bazaar. If Big Bazaar has decided to sell itself, there are 100 outlets. We present the investor what is the actual store wise profitability, what is the regional wise profitability, what is the state wise profitability, what is the product mix. like how the big bazaar is suffering from loss, what kind of line they can remove, or what state, what area is lucrative. These kind of analysis we generally do in FDD.
Okay. I hope I'm audible, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you. I mean, it was such an insightful understanding of what exactly due diligence team does. एंड आप समझ में आया कि ये 5 स्टेप्स में हो रहा है और हर स्टेज की अपनी अपनी इंपॉर्टेंस है. सो अमन, जैसे वैल्यूएशंस की भी एक टीम होती है अलग से, व्हाट आई नो, और जैसे फाइनेंशियल मॉडलर्स की भी एक टीम हमने डेलॉयट के अंदर देखी है कि है, अलग से टीम है. तो ये क्या ड्यू डिलिजेंस का ही पार्ट होते हैं या ये बिल्कुल सेपरेट टीम्स अलग अलग बनी है?
These are the separating. Valuation is again the separating. For example, अगर मैं बोलता हूँ मैं M&A में हूँ, तो I have to specifically identify I am in the due diligence, because M&A एक बहुत लंबा process है. There are 7 to 8 teams. 5 I quote. Sir, you added 2 more, valuation and financial modeling. तो valuation क्या 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 होता है? They take the input from us. For example, let's take in basically example, there is one property which is generating the rental income. तो रेंटल इनकम का वैल्यूएशन कैसे होता है? उसका जो भी फ्यूचर का रेंट होता है उसका प्रेजेंट वैल्यू उसका इनकम होता है. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ इट इज गोइंग टू पे मी 100 रुपीज फॉर नेक्स्ट 10 ईयर, सो व्हाट शुड बी द वैल्यू ऑफ द प्रॉपर्टी? जो 100 जो मेरे को नेक्स्ट 10 ईयर में आना, उसका पीवी इज द वैल्यू ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी, राइट? सो वैल्यूएशन टेक इनपुट फ्रॉम द ड्यू डिलिजेंस टीम वेदर द 100 रुपीज जो नेक्स्ट 10 ईयर में आना वो सस्टेनेबल है या नहीं है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, कंपनी ने तो बोल दिया मेरे को नेक्स्ट 10 ईयर 100 रुपीज आएगा, बट आगे के 3 साल बाद 100 रुपीज के बाद मेरा लीज का एग्रीमेंट ही खत्म हो जाएगा, तो माइट बी देयर सम वैकेंसी, और वो मेरे को 100 रुपीज आना ही नहीं है. So that kind of input FDD team provide to the valuation team. The valuation team and the financial modeling team factor all these things.
Okay, अरे nice. That's really good to hear. हाँ, please go ahead. Sorry.
So you cannot be fit into the each. आप ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते I want to the part of the entire deal process. You have to be some specific item where you want to be fit yourself.
Right. I'll come to you कि how to get into these teams. रजत के पास जाने के बाद आपके पास आता हूँ. रजत, you're on mute firstly. So रजत, मेरे को पता है कि कंसल्टिंग में भी डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ कंसल्टिंग होती है. जैसे एक्सेंचर आती है अपने कैंपस में, सीए कैंपस में, तो वो जितना मुझे आइडिया, टेक कंसल्टिंग, मैनेजमेंट कंसल्टिंग दोनों देती है, राइट? तो जैसे इन्होंने अभी एम&ए के बारे में बताया, मैनेजमेंट कंसल्टिंग में एग्जैक्टली, विदाउट टेकिंग नेम ऑफ द क्लाइंट्स, एग्जैक्टली व्हाट इज योर रोल? आप करते क्या हो? और आई मीन एज ए चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट मेरा क्या रोल है वहां पर?
Thank you, sir, for asking this question. So, management consulting is a broader term. So, management consulting include many things. For an example, कि अमन ने भी आपको due diligence के बारे में बताया, तो अमन talk about the financial due diligence. There is other aspect as well. There is tax due diligence that generally taken care by the chartered accountant.
LDD as well.
Legal, that is why the legal. Apart from this, there is two emerging area as well. One is operation and commercial due diligence. Second is technology due diligence. When I say the operation,
what I heard about it, there's one more area which is ESG.
Yes, now it's also emerging.
Yeah. Go ahead, please. Sorry for interruption.
It's absolutely right, sir. So thank you for highlighting this. So when I say the operation due diligence or commercial due diligence, let's take now the Aman take an example of Blinkit and Zomato. So what the operational and commercial due diligence team will do, they will say ki, just suppose Blinkit say ki they in a location of Gurugram, they are able to deliver 10,000 in a day, and their capacity is 20,000. So whatever the management is claiming is absolutely correct or not, are they able to deliver 20,000 in a day if they increase their delivery power? Second thing, what is their warehouse situation? What is their relationship with customer and vendor? Because due to this transaction, might be the old stakeholder will be away. In this case, will the customer and vendor will able to provide the same price, same rate, etc., etc. That all things need to be considered in operation and commercial due diligence. So there is one area where the consultant will come before the merger side. Second area is that Aman recently talked about is the post-merger integration. For an example, Blinkit and Zomato has merged into the one company. Now they are bought into the different culture. Zomato has a different culture, Blinkit has a different culture. So in the integration piece, what they need to do, for a very simple example, both of the company employee payroll is a different, right? In this case, how the pay grade will be continue. From the system side, how the financial system will be used. Now from the operational side, how you can run two business together, how there is any synergy method, any plant related thing, any warehouses related thing, capacity related thing, know how, technical skill, etc., etc. They need to figure out and make a organization to make run in day one. When I say the day one means when the Blinkit will needs to be considered as a Zomato. So these all things has to be done by the management consulting. So this is the pre-deal on day one deal. Now come to the post day one deal. What is the role on post day one deal? Now the blink. Now I'm continuing with the same example, Blinkit and Zomato. In this case, you need to create a value creation. That firstly, you need to understand the management. What is the management goal they want to achieve via this merger? You understand that they want to why this merger for this XYZ region. Now you need to make a strategy to get this merger successful. This is the one area. Second area might be a synergy. When I say the synergy, everyone will consider as a financial synergy. क्या मैं उसकी cost को reduce करना है, value को add करना है. So this type of setup you need to do. Apart from this, there is a separate strategy as well. For an example, now the government want to everyone is aware that the Ram Mandir is establishment now in Ayodhya, right? So how the Ayodhya city look like? Where should be the airport? Where should be the railway station? Where should be the hotels? Where should be the restaurant? How you will make more foreign investment in Ayodhya? What is the strategy behind this? All also need to be done by the management consultant only. So the area is completely different. Industry is completely different. Once you started your career, might be they can plug you in any industry. Might be one deal you are doing for the oil and gas, another deal you are doing for the technology side. As and when you grow, you have a 3 to 4 experience, then you have a choice to join a single industry. Why any single
So
industry
basically, that
tagging it?
concept of generalist and specialist comes into picture after 4 years.
Yeah, after 3 to 4 years.
Okay, okay. So रजत कैसे घुसे यार मैनेजमेंट कंसल्टिंग में? क्या करना है, मतलब कैसे घुसे इसमें, इस फील्ड में? बहुत मुश्किल आ रही है मुझे समझाने में.
तो घुसना ना एकदम आसान है. अगर आप रिज्यूम कॉपी पेज से बनाओगे तो आप नहीं घुस पाओगे, क्योंकि वो शॉर्ट लिस्टेड ही नहीं होगा. तो पहले आपका रिज्यूम यूनिक होना चाहिए. रिज्यूम आपका स्ट्रक्चर वे में होना चाहिए. अब आप घुसोगे कैसे, उसका सीधा सा एग्जांपल है कि मैकेंजी और बीसीजी तो आपको रीच आउट करेगी नहीं. मैकेंजी और बीसीजी आपको रीच आउट करेगी अगर आप आईआईएम में जा रहे हो या आईएसपी में जा रहे हो, वो भी सिर्फ कैंपस में. कैंपस के अलावा वो किसी को रीच आउट नहीं करते. तो हमारे पास की ऑप्शन है कि हम घर पे बैठे रहे और मेरे पास जॉब आ जाएगी, वो तो एप्लीकेबल ही नहीं होता.
सही बात है.
नाउ कम्स टू द सेकंड पॉइंट. या आपके पेरेंट्स वहां पे पार्टनर हो तो आपको जॉब मिल जाएगी जिसमें आपको कुछ नहीं करना होगा.
चलो वो तो एक अलग ही रास्ता हो गया, उस पे तो क्या ही बात.
नाउ कम टू द थर्ड पॉइंट. अब थर्ड पॉइंट कैसा है कि आपको घुसने के लिए यू नीड टू कॉल कोल्ड कॉलिंग. व्हेन आई से द कोल्ड कॉलिंग, यू नीड टू रीच आउट द पीपल ऑन लिंक्डइन. You need to connect with the consulting firms. Ki I want to go in with BCG, McKinsey, Michael Page, people like Michael Page who generally do this job searching things. So you can connect with them. Apart from this, IIM jobs, etc. You need to reach out for them.
माइकल
So if you
पेज,
want
एक
to,
क्वेश्चन है मेरा यार, माइकल पेज फ्रेशर पे डील करता है क्या? क्योंकि जितनी जॉब्स मैंने देखी वहाँ 5+ इयर्स पे जा रही हो, तो बहुत हाई लेवल जॉब्स आ रही है माइकल
हाँ,
पेज.
तो 0 to 5 years भी वो करता है, लेकिन उसके लिए देयर एज ए सेपरेट टीम, उसको भी वो डील
अच्छा.
करते हैं.
ओके, अच्छा, मेरे को नहीं पता था.
पर,
और नहीं,
हाँ
थैंक
पर
यू.
हाँ पर उसके लिए ये है कि आपके पास वो स्पेसिफिक मतलब ऐसा जेनरिक वो नहीं करते हैं कि अगर उनके पास फॉर एन एग्जांपल वैकेंसी आई कि उन्हें ड्यू डिलीजेंस में करना है, तो फिर वो ड्यू डिलीजेंस में जिनके पास एक्सपीरियंस है उन्हीं को हायर करते हैं. मतलब जैसे मैंने अभी आरटीएलशिप करी है और मैं डायरेक्टली जाना चाहूँ तो डिफिकल्ट होगा, लेकिन अगर मैंने आरटीएलशिप 3 साल एक ही एरिया में करी है तो फिर वो मेरे लिए शायद आसान हो जाएगा माइकल पेज वाला.
ओके, ओके. तो मैनेजमेंट कंसल्टिंग में घुसना है तो एक तो कोल्ड मैसेजिंग हो गया. एज अ फ्रेशर जा सकता हूँ विद नॉर्मल एक्सपीरियंस?
हाँ, एज ए फ्रेशर आप जा सकते हो, लेकिन उनका भी एक साइकिल होता है कि एज ए फ्रेशर वाले में साइकिल ये होता है कि लोग कभी ये जून में हायरिंग करते हैं, मार्च में हायरिंग करते हैं, तो आपको अवेयर होना चाहिए कि हायरिंग कब हो रही है. वो साल में एक ही बार हायरिंग होती है.
और वो
तो
कैसे
एज ए
पता लगती
फ्रेशर
है यार?
वो ऐसे पता लगती है कि आप बीसीजी के पेजेस देखो, बीसीजी, मैकेंजी, बेन, ईवाई, तो वो पेजेस पर अपलोड करते हुए रहते हैं.
एल्स
तो
पार्टनर को भी
यू
रीच कर सकते हैं
हाँ,
एट
पार्टनर्स को भी
डिफरेंट.
रीच आउट कर सकते हैं. लेकिन यहाँ का इंटरव्यू जो प्रिपरेशन होगा वो आपको डिफरेंट करना पड़ेगा. वो जो सीए में जो आप
केस
पढ़ते हो वो
स्टडीज.
सब आपको कुछ पूछेंगे नहीं, तो आपको केस स्टडी के लिए प्रिपरेशन करना होगा, जो कि आपके 3 इंटरव्यू, 4 इंटरव्यू, 5 इंटरव्यू होंगे. सारे केस स्टडी के बेसिस पर होते हैं. वो आपकी टेक्निकल नॉलेज जज नहीं करते हैं कि तुमने आंसर जो दिया है वो पूरा सही है कि नहीं. वो ये देखते हैं कि जो आप आंसर दे रहे हो वो लॉजिकल है कि नहीं, और
अप्रोच.
वो जो आप नंबर दे रहे हो वो आपकी अप्रोच ठीक है कि नहीं. बेसिकली दे जस्ट वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि नॉलेज हम आपको बाद में आके दे देंगे, लेकिन आपको अप्रोच बनाना आता है कि नहीं, आपको स्टोरी टेलिंग करना आता है कि नहीं, और आपका आंसर स्ट्रक्चर है कि नहीं. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि अभी आप ए पर हो फिर जेड पे पहुंच गए फिर वापस से जे पर आ गए. तो आप अप्रोच बनाना जानते हो कि नहीं, वो एक इंपॉर्टेंट पीस होता है.
राइट.
हाँ, एंड
अमन. हाँ, सॉरी, गो अहेड, सॉरी.
for the fresher piece, yes, for the management consulting, they generally hire ranker or first attempt. But after that, if you have a 1 year or 2 year experience in good company, then directly you can go to management
कोई यार
consulting.
बुटीक फर्म्स है मैनेजमेंट कंसल्टिंग की जहाँ से
हाँ,
स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं? कुछ
so
नाम बता
boutique
सकें आप
firm
तो.
Taxila Management, situated in
तक्षशिला.
Noida. Monitor Deloitte,
हम्म.
so they are also doing its strategy, and
हम्म.
Olive,
हम्म.
So these all are the boutique
Okay.
firm जैसे आप start कर सकते हो.
ओके ओके अमन, कमिंग टू यू, अगर ड्यू डिलिजेंस में आना हो तो क्या प्रिपरेशन स्ट्रेटजी रहनी चाहिए, क्या पढ़ना चाहिए, किन चीजों पे फोकस करना है, सीवी कैसा होना चाहिए, एनी आइडिया, एनी इनसाइट्स फ्रॉम योर साइड?
So let's move step by step. 30 to 40% should be your academic should be strong. Along with your internship, मतलब अगर आपका internship अच्छी जगह से है and you qualified with the good marks, then you definitely your CV will be considered. And 30 to 40% will again depend your analytic skills. Rajat is already saying if you are going into the management consultancy, then you should be know कि what kind of field you are going. So वहाँ पे they will only ask the question which are relevant to them. They will give you the case study because this is the relevant. They will not going to ask you about the deferred tax क्या है. They will not going to ask about the taxation point. So now 30 to 40% depend how you can think. For example, generally what they do, they give you the simple case. ऐसा आपको rocket science नहीं देगा because they know you are the fresher. For example, they will give you the simple data of the big bazaar. Big bazaar के उन्होंने 10 store का आपको data दे दिया. There are the sales are there are the expenditure are there are the profit are there. Now they will ask to do some kind of analysis. So if you have the raw data for example in of the 10 state, the sales are there, the cost of goods sold are there, the rental expenses are there, the profitability is there. Then you can do example state wise कि for example राजस्थान से मेरा ये profit आ रहा है, महाराष्ट्र से मेरा ये profit आ रहा है. Then the moving to the next step, you have to identify why the profitability is the different from one state to another. कि राजस्थान में मेरा ऐसा क्या हो रहा है कि वहां पे मेरा profit ज्यादा है. It is due to the some good product, some high margin product are sold there, or the another thing might be the cost of goods sold might be the lower. For example, Rajasthan mein they are paying the 1 lakh rent expense, and in the Maharashtra for the same area they are paying the 1,50,000 rent. So might be due to the Rajasthan profitability can be the higher. So you have the think to ability for these kind of analysis from a simple raw data. आप raw data को देख के ये comment कर सकते हो कि देखो मेरी यहाँ sales ज्यादा है, वो कोई भी बता सकता है. For that you don't need, for that they will not hire to, but you have to come on say कि boss यहाँ पे मेरा
क्यों जा रहा है?
profitability क्यों जा रहा है? This is the main reason. And what we can do to increase the profit in the Maharashtra. Like
तो बेसिकली
now
अगर
you
बात की जाए तो जैसे मान लो सीवी में कुछ सेक्टर्स लिखे हैं, अपने जयपुर में ज्यादातर जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरी, रियल एस्टेट, एजुकेशन, आईटी या ट्रेडिंग एंटिटीज ये ज्यादा हैं, तो दे शुड नो द इनसाइट अबाउट दोस इंडस्ट्रीज की उनकी सेल कहाँ से आती है, उनके मेजर कॉस्ट एलिमेंट्स क्या हैं, उनकी प्रॉफिट
right.
मार्जिन्स क्या रहते हैं. जनरली ऐसा कुछ पढ़ के जा सकते हैं, राइट?
Right. For example, how I came into the PWC because I have the 2 year experience of the real estate deals. Managed
Right.
DLF can I moved from the industry to the big four, and industry to the good
Which
profile
is
of the big
not
four.
very often, which doesn't happen very
Right,
often.
right. Because only either they will hire the fresher or they will one big four to another big four. Generally, वही होता है. But if you
Yes.
going for the only main reason because you have the sound knowledge of the real estate industry. आपने real estate को ground से देखा है. Now if you come to the consulting side, you can explain and you can work.
हाँ.
So for example, if you are working into the, for example, आपने मोती सन्स की audit किया, then you should know how the revenue is coming, what are their expenditure, how they pay into the marketing, what kind of arrangement they have with the contractor for the gold manufacturing, gold designing. So you should know in depth about the industry because आप जब when you go into the consultancy, you should know what basically the company do. These kind of basically things that work. So 30 to 40% your good academics, 30 to 40% your in-depth knowledge, and 20% both your network, how you can able to reach out the people, because for these profile the company PwC, any big four, any company will not go into the campus. Only the referral, only your links, all your networking will work. You have to reach out to the people in the right way. You should have the strong communication skill, and you should have a ability to how to target the audience.
Absolutely.
बिकॉज अगर आपके पास फर्स्ट टू लेग होगा 80% यू हैव डन, बट अगर आपको कोई रेफर करने वाला होगा ही नहीं, नो वन इज देयर हु कैन टेक योर सीवी फॉरवर्ड, तो आपका काम नहीं होगा.
हाँ. और
सो इफ यू
मतलब आप,
या
मैं बस इतना से कहता कि अपने पास दोनों स्टूडेंट्स ऐसे हैं जो इंडस्ट्री से बिग फोर मूव करे हुए हैं. बोथ ऑफ यू हैव मूव्ड फ्रॉम एन इंडस्ट्री टू बिग फोर, व्हिच इज नॉट वेरी यूजुअल. अच्छा, द होस्ट हिमसेल्फ हैज मूव्ड फ्रॉम इंडस्ट्री टू बिग फोर, बट व्हाट आई डिड वाज इन द फर्स्ट ईयर, व्हिच इज पॉसिबल. बोथ ऑफ यू डिड इट एट इन द लेटर हाफ ऑफ योर करियर्स, मतलब आफ्टर 3 इयर्स, 2 इयर्स, जो ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट होता है. मेरे लिए आसान था क्योंकि मैं तो 7 महीने 8 महीने में ही कर लिया था. तो ये तो बहुत बड़ा मतलब एक कोइंसिडेंस है कि all three people are speaking here have moved from industry to big four. So later on we all realized कि यार उधर थोड़ा सा ज्यादा कुछ मिल जाएगा, हो सकता है मिल जाए, अंडरस्टैंडिंग, इनसाइट्स मिल जाए, लर्निंग मिल जाए. इंडस्ट्री में भी है, बहुत है, बट इनिशियल फेज मुझे लगता है कि ऐसा मेरा मानना है, दिस इज माय पर्सनल ओपिनियन, नॉट forcing out on anyone, but I personally feel big four और consulting firms will give you better work to deal with. तो अमन, मतलब सीवी नॉर्मल चलेगा, अपना जो ऑडिट डाला है वो डालो.
यस,
और
बट
पढ़ना
यू
क्या
हैव
है
टू
भाई,
गिव
इसके लिए क्या पढ़ना है, वर्किंग कैपिटल रेशियोज वगैरह ये सब थोड़ा बहुत अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो
you
तो
can
बेटर
you
है.
can read ratios, you can understand about मतलब generally there are three kind of analysis. I will share the some booklet link with you. You can, there are 100 to 200
Please,
pages
if you
there.
can, it would be a great help.
I will share. You can read on that how, what kind of analysis they do, what kind of generally the no type of income which is not considered as a regular income. What is the generally thing from which where the working capital item are considered as a debt like. So these kind of analysis, and the most the ultimately the thing you should have the analytical skills. No one going to ask your text point. आपको बस analysis कैसे करना है वो आपको पता होना चाहिए.
राइट, बिल्कुल सही बात है अवेलेबल रजत जब तक वापस आते हैं. तो अमन से अगर आपको कुछ भी पूछना हो ड्यू डिलिजेंस में, यार अपने लिए ओपन है, अभी बहुत ओपनिंग्स आ रही हैं, आप एक बार पूछ सकते हैं अगर किसी को कुछ भी क्वेश्चन हो. ओपन, द फोरम इज ओपन फॉर स्टूडेंट्स टू आस्क क्वेश्चंस. एनीवन, एनी क्वेश्चन? या मैंने ही शायद सारे पूछ लिए, पता नहीं.
Hello, hi Aman. This side Sayyam. So I just
Hi,
want to ask, in M&A tax, in M&A there is a better option in M&A tax, or particularly in deals advisory. What is a good option to pursue?
So basically, there is no separate team for M&A tax. For example, what is happening? Let's take an example. A project has been come, and the project fee for the entire due diligence is a 10 lakh rupees. I'm just taking a simple example. So what generally happen? The FDD team will charge 80%. For example, 8 lakh will give the PWC FDD team, and for the 10% for direct tax team, and for the 10% indirect tax team, we outsource the work to the internally tax team. So tax का कोई अलग से M&A tax नहीं होता. They do generally what type of work the taxation team do. But apart from that, whenever the project comes in, they take some revenue from the FDD internal team and do work for that. So M&A tax का कोई अलग से team नहीं है. They generally जो भी tax का normal work होता है उनका वही team रहता है. But as and when the project comes, we give some certain type of revenue internal transfer. We take help from them and we assign the work to them. So वो हमारा internally help कर देता है. So एक project for example 100% is work is there. The 80% work will be the for FDD only. 10% work for the direct tax team and 10% work for the indirect tax team. So the broad area is the FDD team, but M&A tax, there are some specific aspect they see. Like for example, from the point of view, what tax implication will be there, whether the company is paying the GST direct tax is present at the correct rate or not, any obligation that can become in the future, litigation that might become in the future or not. They generally see that kind of thing.
Right. Rajat, come back. Any other question to Aman? कोई और क्वेश्चन है अमन के लिए?
So guys, let me take it. So now at the time when I joined to the FDT team, it's a very fancy profile, and at the time the vacancy are too low. For example, जब मैंने join किया था ना, the vacancy around in our in entire PWC team, the total team of the FDT is not more than 100 people, including the partner, including the associate, including AM, including the manager. Now, see, now the is we know the India is into the going stage. The various kind of deals are happening. The team sizes has been in the last 2 years it has been increased from 100 to 250 people. So now there are lot of vacancies are there. You have to reach out to the right people. And ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको नहीं मिलेगा. If you do the right kind of effort, if you have the analytics skill and you have the strong academic, then you can definitely land into this profile. So you just have to do the effort. और अभी पहले जितना fancy नहीं है. You each and every big four is hiring for this. Even the GT, BDO, and they were also hiring into this. So you have to make the effort. And if you do the right effort, definitely you will land it.
राइट. इसमें वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस पे भी बात होती है और पेमेंट सीटीसी और ग्रोथ स्ट्रक्चर, ग्रोथ पे भी बात कर लेते हैं. वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस कैसा है सर आपका? आई थिंक इसमें बहुत टायरिंग रहता है, जितना मुझे आइडिया, बहुत मल्टीपल डील्स पे काम करना पड़ता है, एक ही दिन में 2 डील्स भी हो सकती है.
So till the associate, so for example, let's take an example of the structure. Initial the associate articles are not there. So basically they will recruit either CA, CFA and MBA only. So they will start from the associate. The next level is the assistant manager and then is the manager. So till AM, मतलब associate plus AM, they will assign you only one project at a time. The deal largely go from 1 month to 3 months. बस इतना ही होता है. आप when you start the work, the max to max work, if that is a large project, that is a large deal, 3 months में आपका काम खत्म हो जाएगा. And once the 3 month end, you will work with the new people. You will work on the new client. So इसमें ऐसा नहीं होता, monotonous job नहीं होता. जैसे ही आपका काम खत्म हुआ, you will assign some new team because team का भी rotation चलता रहता है. Very limited people are there and very new clients are there. So monotonous जैसा इसमें कुछ होता नहीं है. And the growth, yes, the fixed CTC as compared to the audit profile is also the 30 to 40% is higher, whatever they are paying in the audit, and also the variable portion is also quite lucrative, which can vary from 30 to 50%. If your rating is the normal, then you will definitely get the bonus of the 20 to 30%. But if you perform well, if you are the star performer, they will pay you the bonus up to the 50%. The normal range of bonus is the 40% of your CTC. And generally in the audit and in the tax, the normal promotion cycle is a minimum 3 year. It will take three and 3.5 year. But in the DD, if you perform the well, might be you got promoted to the next level even in the 2 years. So the growth is also high.
Okay. Yes, Rajat. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Rajat, आप कुछ बोल रहे थे?
Yeah. So adding to the Aman last point on tax M&A tax team. So EY has separate M&A tax team. तो वो जो
हाँ.
FDD में होता है प्री डील की हमें इस डील में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए कि नहीं. Apart from this, I will give you one more example. For an example, there is one group company who want to merge their another group company, right? One company is situated in India, second company is situated in Indonesia. In this case, M&A tax team always play a big role. What is the tax structure for this? So do you need to buy this via slump sale or via through assets purchase or via through NCLT? So here the M&A tax team always play a big role. So in EY, yes, there is a separate team for M&A tax.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.